Oh, it is recording. What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Shyhammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the Paths of Magic. Now, I could go into a whole review, and yes, my shirt, I'm always angry. I could go into a review on all the Paths of Magic, of course, but that's for another fucking day, dude. Guys, you guys watch my reports. You guys know I'm an Orc and Goblin player, and I'm gonna go ahead and actually just give you guys who are Orc and Goblin players a sneak peek at what we have. I have actually some of the rules coming out very soon, but I don't think I'm allowed to release any of it. So I could give you guys a sneak peek at what we're looking at here. Without the full blown release here, but so we got there's obviously we still have Orc Shamans, we still have Goblin Shamans. There's a lot of changes in the new BRB and the new books, more or less. So and if it looks like I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking at my screen, my computer screen there with the stuff that's forbidden to look at. Okay, but so there's a lot of changes. I don't feel like they're bad changes. They are different changes, and I think that's what scares a lot of people to begin with, is just change. Change itself is a scary thing, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Okay, I'm a business owner, and you guys can see this is my gym right here. Okay, I opened up in an actual bigger gym. Oh, she's cute. In a bigger gym than this one here. This is like 2007, 2008. This is a little backstory. Sorry to kill you guys' time with my backstory here. Around 2008, the economy crashed in America. So when the economy crashed, a lot of people stopped coming to the gym. They drink more, but they work out less. So that caused my business to crumble, and I basically went close to bankruptcy. During that time, I had to make a change and go into a smaller studio. Very, very small space, like a quarter of the size of this gym. A quarter of the size. And it's a big change. And I didn't want to do it. I wanted to find any way possible not to make that happen. How do I save my business, you know? And by saving my business, I had to make a change. I had to go to a smaller gym, but that didn't mean that I'm making 4 steps backwards, and never coming back up. I basically used that as my stepping stone to come back up. From there, I moved to a next door gym, which was slightly bigger, and then after that, I even moved to this gym, and even this was a big change for me. This was a big change, and I was so used to my commute to work was super easy, and I was so used to being where I was. But when I made this change, it was a big change, and doing that, I honestly am happier here than I've been at any of my other locations that I had. Besides the ambulances, actually I don't mind the ambulances; they're awesome, but. But yeah, this location has done me wonders, and I really do believe that was a good change for me. So basically, just saying that, I want you guys to understand that just because the game is going through a transitional period, and it's not even going to stay where it is now, they're going to go ahead and put these new rules out, and you might not even agree with it, but you know what? A lot of people might not agree with it, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? Well, you're right. We'll tweak the points, or do something to make it a little bit more interesting or better or whatever, or usable. So don't freak out. Something you might be using might not work anymore, but it's okay. It's just a game. All right. So 4 minutes into it, I'm going to go ahead and start going into the Paths of Magic. Now, first off, we'll start off with the Orc Shaman, all right? Or for you guys who watch my videos, Kieran the Coyote. All right? So the Orc Shamans, you still have the common Orc Shaman, you still got the Feral Orc Shaman, but the Paths of Magic that they know, or I don't know if it's like Paths anymore, or whatever, the schools, what the fuck are they called? I don't know what they're called. What are they called? Yeah, they're Paths of Magic. Okay, I was not making shit up. All right, so there are they're vast differences in what we were used to. There is no big green gods. There is no little green gods. There's no warg magic or anything like that. It's shamanism, thaumaturgy, and pyromancy. And if I'm getting in trouble for saying this shit, I'm sorry, guys. I blame whoever gave me the fucking rules. That's who I'm sorry. But Orc Shamans, they get Thaumaturgy, Shamanism, and Pyromancy. Now, as you guys know, Pyromancy has already been leaked for a while. So Pyromancy is basically a magic damaging spells. Okay, obviously you could take a level 1 through 4 or get 1 through 4 magic spells. So I know there's a little confusion. Like when I saw it, well, the first time I saw the leak, it had a T by the fireball, right? That is a trait. A trait for the magic is a magic spell you automatically get, but you don't have to pay for. Basically, it's not one of your generated spells. So that's awesome. You could always do a fireball. Fireball is only D3 plus 1. It's basically the old Raging Fire. You're just not getting the Raging Fire automatically, but it's on a 4+, so you could always 1 dice it and get it out of the way. You got number 1 is Pyroclastic Flow. You know, I'm horrible. I can't even. I went to Chicago public schools. I can't fucking speak. I can't read. God. Look at me. I'm a meathead. Anyways, that paints miniatures. Pyroclastic Flow is the old fireball, and the big difference on this is the casting value got lowered a little, but the freaking range got really reduced. So you used to be able to shoot it across the field the more dice you're using. Now you're getting it less across the field. Most people will probably throw a middle range spell because it's only on a 24 inches. The highest one is a 12-inch range. So that's a big difference, actually. Number 2, which, first off, as an Orc and Goblin player, this is fucking awesome. We had spells we never had before. 3d6 strength 4 hits with Flaming. Hey, Flaming was one of my issues. Like, when I would fight another Orc and Goblin player, I'm like, ah, shit, they got trolls, man. I didn't take no damn Flaming Banner. Now we have access to fireballs, which is awesome. But on the same note, that means a lot more people probably have access to fireballs, which makes the Fireborn characters a lot more usable. Or Fireborn characters are a lot harder to deal with because most people's damage dealing spells are going to be fire based. 2, Cascading Fire. It's 24 inches or 6-inch aura. It's an augment. It's remain in play. It's at the initiative of 0. Each round of combat involving the target, all enemy models in base contact with the target gain or suffer strength 4 flaming attacks. So basically, anybody touching your unit or any of the units in the 6-inch bubble, if you boost it, will get burned, more or less. That's pretty cool. It's a remain in play spell. That's actually pretty awesome because it's like you're giving off an aura of just burning people, and I think that's a pretty fucking cool spell. It's a little bit different. I don't think we've had that before. If we did, it wasn't. It was the Thorns one, whatever that one was back in Nature. Scorching Salvo, number 3. It's a 18-inch aura, hex damage, instant. Target suffers D3 or D6 strength 4 hits. It's the same thing. 18-inch aura though. That's cool. It's a fucking flame ring that goes out and just hits everybody in that aura. That is fucking actually pretty fucking cool. I think that's awesome. That's fucking awesome. Just like think about it, like story wise, you know, you're in this middle of this battlefield and just boom, just big ass bubble of fire. Like, get the fuck off me. All right, number 4, Immolation. We got 18 inches ground remains in play. Now, one thing I did notice on all the magic paths, and I don't know if this is giving away too much, but I didn't see any 3-inch, 5-inch, or line templates, or vortexes. There's no vortexes. Not that I've seen. There's ground, and then there's instants. So that's a big change. Anyways, Immolation. It's a ground. It's a remain in play. Placing a 3-inch diameter marker with its center on the target point, and the marker more than 1 inch from all the units. At the end of each phase, units that have been in contact suffer area attack 4, strength 4 flaming attacks. Alright, so basically you put it in there, it's more or less to try to keep people away from like charging you or whatever, right? That's not game breaking. It's definitely usable. It's the same as like taking DT tests and stuff like that, but strength 4 versus looking just for 1s. That's actually pretty good. Flaming Swords. I think Flaming Swords is exactly what it used to be. I think it's exactly what it used to be. It is. Gets magical attacks. All right, Enveloping Embers. This one used to be the 5-0 board. it isn't anymore. It's a hex direct damage spell. Each model in the target suffers 1 strength 3 hit with flaming attacks. Oh, so it's lower in strength, but you're getting hit more models, basically, if you hit hordes, which is pretty cool. That's awesome. All right, so that's pyromancy. The other thing we got is shamanism. And now shamanism I was really looking at because this is very similar to the old wilderness path. Similar, but not. One of the coolest things is this one doesn't have a trait spell. It's not a T, it's an A. So this is an attribute. And the attribute, we're going straight into you get it. You don't have to cast it. It just happens if you cast another spell. So the attribute is scarification. Basically what happens is your wizard, only your wizard, if he casts a spell and he's in close combat, nobody could wound him on anything better than a 5. That's awesome. I think that's pretty fucking cool, especially for like, well, yeah, Goblin Shamans. Goblin Shamans, they can't, like, most people are wounding them on 2s or 3s. So Goblin Shaman getting wounded on a 5 makes them a lot more survivable, especially the way I use them, where I put him on the corner of the orc unit. It would make him actually have an opportunity to live. You guys hear it in the distance? The ambulance. All right. The 0 spell is actually a signature. So this lore has signature, which is Awaken the Beast. That is the old Beast Within, okay? But the difference here is you don't get strength and toughness unless you boost it. You only get strength. You get toughness if you boost it, okay? Swarm of Insects, same thing, 5d6 strength 1 hits. Savage Fury is the same thing. You get Frenzy. It's universal, so you can give it to yourself or you can give it to your enemy and make them run the wrong fucking way. I think that's an awesome use for it. Just give it to the enemy, make them run the wrong way. Pounding Drumbeat. Now, this is an awesome spell. At the same time, it doesn't really replace what it used to be. This is a new spell for the path, I guess, of... This is like, I mean, shamanism is basically mixing a couple different of the old paths into one, making it a very, what's the word I'm looking for? You're getting augments, a lot of augments, but at the same time, it's a fire truck. It went that way. I couldn't get it on camera. If it was going this way, I was gonna like make you all look at it. All right, but so besides the swarm of insects, there's no redwood chaff. There's no like spell that's gonna just destroy somebody. It's mostly augments. So you're gonna get obviously frenzy. You're gonna get +1 strength and toughness. Pounding drumbeat used to be, or not used to be. It is its own spell. It's actually a really interesting spell. I think it's supposed to replace the hand of Gork, where you move somebody. But basically, pounding drumbeat, it either works for 1 unit, or you could boost it for a 12-inch aura and move many units, and you could only move them forward. You can't move them side to side. You can't pick them up and put them on the flanks or anything like that. You could only move them forward. It's a 2d6 magical move, straight forward. Can't sidestep, pivot, reform, wheel, anything during that. When more than 1 unit is affected, roll the distance, move the unit before rolling the next unit. Okay. Chilling Howl. This used to be actually Blizzard. Basically, it's the same thing. It's well, actually, no, it's not. It's totally not. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I got distracted. So basically, Chilling Howl is an 18-inch augment or a 12-inch augment. Basically, any wounds to roll against the target from shooting attacks suffer -1 to hit. So that's about it. The fuck is that, man? 3. It was like 2 fire trucks and a freaking, I don't know what the hell that shit is. Number 5, break the spirit. The target suffers -1 to hit and treats all terrain, including open and terrain, as dangerous terrain. So this is basically the Wildwood. It's a hex, 36 inches, 72 inches, very similar to what the Wildwood was, except for the dangerous terrain is now dangerous terrain 2. All right. Now this is my favorite one because it makes me create a new model. I think this is awesome. Number 6, Totemic Summon. Okay, Totemic Summon is replacing what would have been the one where you turn your caster into a dragon or a manicore or whatever. But basically, this one, you get to summon a totem beast and it must be placed within 1 inch or 10 inches of the board edge. It has a 96-inch range. So basically, it's coming on the board edge, any board edge you need, right? But the monster has random movement 3d6, strength 5, T5, 3 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 7. He's immune to psychology, has a breath weapon, and he's about a 40 by 40 millimeter base. That's fucking awesome. You could. There's so many. What's the word I'm looking for? Ways you could just make your own customized beast just to be this beast. That's awesome. All right, so that's all shamanism has to offer. I think for the most part, I might be playing with shamanism because that has the most bang for your buck, I believe. You could use the beast to kill some war machines. You could use the totem beast to pop out in the background and try to kill some war machines or kill some, bunkers or something like that. And the cool thing about the totemic summon is you could summon more than one guy. You could summon one, next phase summon another. The casting cost isn't that bad. It's 10. It's pretty cool. You got -1 to hits, -1 to shoots. You got a magic move. So a lot of them have its bonuses. Obviously, Frenzy doesn't really do shit for orcs and goblins because you either really do have Frenzy or you don't want Frenzy. So, and the +1 strength and toughness is always great. Thaumaturgy. Thaumaturgy has, this one is very, very different. Thaumaturgy has a lot of, hexes. Yeah, it's mostly hexes. The one thing that Thaumaturgy has, though, that the other spells don't, is it has a huge damaging spell. It has the Wrath of God. The Wrath of God is basically, for lack of better terms, Comet. Okay? Or the Foot, but more or less Comet. Okay? So, Hand of Heaven is the +1 spell. There's no attribute, there's no trait, there's no signature. It just goes straight to 1 through 6. Hand of Heaven, it's a magic missile. D6 or D6 +1 with a random D6 or D6 +1 strength. Could be high, could be low. Cleansing Fire, it's a breath weapon. You could give it to your caster or give it to a character or a focused whatever person. And it's going to be a breath weapon strength D3 +2. Okay. Trial of Faith, caster and target roll a D6. This one's interesting. It's a roll off, and however high your roll off is, you're going to make that person take that many wounds, AP6. That's pretty cool. Trial of Faith. The only thing that kind of kills me is it's a gamble after the gamble. You're going to gamble to get the damn dice in there to cast the spell. Then you got to gamble to see if you actually do damage. That one kind of bugs me a little bit, but at the same time, it could be huge. It could kill somebody really big. Speaking in Tongues. I like this one. I like the name of it, Speaking in Tongues. The target gets hexed, cannot use Inspiring Presence. And then Smite of the Unbeliever. Basically what happens is you roll a dice on a 4+, you roll it again, and you keep rolling to count how many 4+s you get until you fail a 4+. However many 4+s you got, that's how many minus toughnesses they get. Okay, so if you roll 3, 4, 4, 5, or 6s, and then you finally roll a 1, they're -3 toughness. And then you do the same thing for strength. So it's not boosted, it's minus toughness, minus strength, as long as you can roll a 4 up. That is cool. It could be really good, it could be really bad, but it's interesting because it leaves it to a little bit to a chance. It could be really, really good. It's not like just D3. And this is all Thaumaturgy. And then, like I said, number 6 is the Comet, or Wrath of God. I actually like the name Wrath of God better. It kind of ties in the Comet with the Foot, like I said, because the Foot was supposed to be the Mork just, stomping on everybody. But now it's actually kind of both. And I think that was it for orc spells. Now, the only difference between the Goblin Magic and the Orc Magic, all right, there's, without giving away too much on the rulebook of Goblin Magic, there's a difference in cost for Common Goblins, Forest Goblins, and Cave Goblins, but they all learn the same spells. So they all could get Witchcraft, Thaumaturgy, or Pyromancy. Well, we already covered Thaumaturgy and Pyromancy. We'll go over Witchcraft. I'm going to try to hurry this up so I don't make this video way too long. But for Witchcraft, Witchcraft has the signature spell, which is Evil Eye, but it's not a magic missile. It's just a hex. I'm sorry, there's so much noise outside. It's fucking annoying me. All right. It's a hex, and you basically it makes you either it makes you D3 movement and D3, or no, D3 movement and -1 initiative. It's a very easy spell to cast. It's only on a 6+, and it has a good range. So it's a good hex. And for the most part, I think most of these spells in Witchcraft are hexes or augments. There's not any real damaging spells. Number 1, Deceptive Glamour. It's an augment. It could go into an aura or an 18 inches, and it basically gives distracting and hard target, which we used to have that spell already, but it's a little bit cheaper, which actually I think is pretty cool. Number 2, Raven's Wing. Basically, you could pick up a unit and move them. Flying magical move, 6 inches or 10 inches, based on if you boost it or not. And then both. Oh, doesn't prevent the unit from shooting. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Right. That's all normal stuff. Twisted Effigy. You could boost it. All shooting attacks made by the target and the spells cast by the target have their range half. So, so if you don't boost it, you just get to turn their shooting into half their range. So if they're a 30-inch range, now they're 15 inches. It could really, or that's fucking awesome. You could use that on war machines. And you could turn a war machine from a 30-inch shot or a 60-inch shot into a 30 or 15 inches. That's fucking awesome. That's awesome for like organ guns and hellblasters when they're like 24-inch range ones. You can make them 12 inches and they can't shoot shit. That is awesome. But the other thing it does, if you boost it, is you could turn spells into half the distance. That's pretty cool. All right, Will-o'-the-Wisp. Last one turn, target gains random movement 2d6. This used to exist on the demon spells. So basically, you could give it to yourself as a bonus, and basically you could just give it to yourself, pick a direction, move, and you don't have to worry about charging charge reactions. They can't flee. Or you could really mess up somebody trying to charge you and turn their movement into a random movement, and then they're just kind of SOL. It's universal, so you could go either way. Bewitching Glare. The target, I love this spell. It's a remain in play. The target gets stupid. For each character get in the unit, a -1 modifier to its leadership is suffered when making stupid tests. That is awesome. It basically makes Death Stars extremely stupid. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. It's a really low cast, not 8 to cast. That's just hilarious to me, and I think it's hilarious to me because I'm so used to having stupid with the trolls. I even tell my friend Red, when he plays his Warriors of the Hobo Gods, to play those Hellstriders, because you gotta make people stupid, man. It really pays off, especially against low leadership armies. But specifically like this, like I said, if they have a bunch of characters in one unit, you could really make them stupid. And then finally, the Wheels turn. Rank and file models in the target unit. I told you I can't read. Will successfully roll to hit and wound on a 4-up with their close combat attacks, regardless of weapon skill, strength, and toughness. Oh, to hit and wound. So basically, they're going to need 4-up no matter what. So if they're going to hit you on... This is a great hex to have against somebody who's obviously... Like I said, I'm just going based on the Orc and Goblin perspective. You're playing against Sword Masters or White Lions or something that's mostly elves. They're hitting you on 2s, wounding you on 2s, or wounding you on 3s. You can make them 4 and 4s, and that makes a big difference. Or even better yet, you have this giant Killy Lord in a combat with your Lord, and he, for some reason, hits you on 2 because he's a giant, like, Warriors of the Dark Gods, Wrath freaking guy, Khorne, who has all these buffs, and he has weapon skill 8 to your weapon skill 7 Iron Orc Warlord. So he's hitting you on 2s, and then he has, like, fucking strength 8, and he has 8 attacks. You just basically turn him into getting 2 wounds on average. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually really cool. So like I said, this is different. It's not that it's right or wrong. It isn't. A lot of people, I know a lot of people are afraid of change. Change isn't a bad thing. Change happens. Change always happens. Your life constantly evolves and changes. That's it. You're not still living at your mom's house in her basement. Maybe you are. I don't know. I don't know you. But things change for a reason, okay? And obviously this is a positive change, or it's just a change in general, okay? But it's how you look at the change will determine if it's a positive or a negative thing. It's very cool that they came up with a lot. Like, I think that it's cool that the lores are very specific. Honestly, reading through them right now for the last 20 minutes made me think of a lot of different options. I do like shamanism, of course, because it's something more that I'm used to. But looking at witchcraft, looking at thaumaturgy, looking at pyromancy, they have their good buffs and debuffs and uses too. And I would rather... the one thing I'm missing is the green moon. I don't see the green moon, and it's just like, I want my AP6 freaking vortex just like taking out people, man. But overall, there's a lot of options and a lot of I like the fact that we have more magic paths to pick from. But at the same time, so do other people. But yeah. Give it a shot, guys. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I can't wait to see how it plays out. And guys, I think I could release some of the information. I think I could release the information about the army book on Saturday. So I'll get you guys a video on that as soon as I'm allowed to do that. And besides that, guys, I hope you're enjoying this. If you haven't hit like and subscribe, hit like and subscribe. And if you guys can help out, I do have my Patreon. I'll put the Patreon link down below. And then also, if you guys are interested in going to the Gauntlet, I have a tournament that I'm running in February. It's called the Gauntlet. It's going to be probably... The points are probably going to be increased because, I'm just saying, the points might be increased a little from what they were currently. That's all I could say. Anyways, besides that, guys, I'll talk to you guys next time. Yeah, sign up for the Gauntlet. And I almost dropped my camera. Peace.